So there has been a stock market rumor lately going around that Aurora will be acquiring green growth brands, and it's been in the works for a while. At least that's what I'm getting on the internet right now through Twitter and Facebook and my own YouTube channel. So yeah, this is basically a rumor. This is not official. I mean, I understand the concept behind why Aurora would want to acquire green growth brands. It makes a lot of sense. But yeah, we'll talk about it in this video. First of all, the market cap is $179 million. So it's still a fairly expensive company. I mean, even if it's 87 cents, it still has a market cap of $179 million. That's a lot bigger than most Canadian MJ companies at the moment, the small ones anyways. But the stock was trading at, like not too long ago, when it IPO'd, $5.89. So, and then after that, it's just been drifting down and down and down and down. And it's still on a downtrend right now. I think right now does serve a pretty good opportunity simply because if it ever goes back to $6, or if Aurora buys them out for $6, which could happen in the future, when the U.S. becomes federally legal, which is a possibility, you could 600% your money, 600% your money if green growth brand somehow goes all the way down to 50 cents. I think you would make a ton of money right at the bottom. I don't have an investment in green growth brands right now, but I thought I'd make a video on it because I started doing some research and I did find it interesting, and I'll probably do more research over the weekend. I may buy some, I may not. I don't know yet at the end of the day. But so the reason why I think Aurora wants green growth brand is because they are expanding in the US like no tomorrow. Because they are only a CBD company, they've been expanding the distribution channel on a massive scale, and since the IPO, they've already grew up to 150 CBD shops throughout the United States. They set up stores called, I believe, the first 7 cents. Oh, sorry, 7 cents. So that's the logo for the stores, and they're growing the distribution channel, and I think that's the reason why Aurora wants to acquire them. They want to acquire a really big distribution channel for CBD products in the United States. Not only does they have their own 150 stores, they also partnered up with Abercrombie and Fitch for an additional 161 stores, and DSW for another total of 155 stores, totaling and white labeling American Eagle Mood for 500th of their stores. So yes, they are very, very big CBD distribution company, and I think Aurora's plan is to, buy them out and buy out Folium, and then use that to distribute really high margin CBD products and sell a lot of products throughout the United States. I think that's Aurora's plan, but I don't know for sure. As we can see, the 7 cents on their website, if we scroll down, we can see that there are a ton of there's a ton of distribution channels on their website, locations. So like over 500 right now. So they have access to a lot of distribution. And I think that Aurora possibly could acquire Folium in the future. Not right now, but in the future, Aurora could merge with Folium and Green Growth Brands, and then use Green Growth Brands to use Folium to distribute all their products across the United States using Green Growth Brands by the time Aurora acquires both Green Growth Brands and Forium Biosciences, they will be much bigger and better company with much huger distribution channels, because Green Growth Brand is growing every single day. So by the time Aurora does acquire them, Green Growth Brands could have over 5,000 distribution channels throughout the United States, and Forium will be, I think Forium is set up to do 7 times the CBD products through the United States. So, this is my theory anyways, where Aurora will require both Forium and Green Growth Brands, because who are the biggest shareholders of Forium? It's basically Aurora shareholders, their families, their friends, Terry Booth, bunch of management. They own Australia's capital, and when they merge together, they own a position in Forium, and the merger would make a lot of sense from a big perspective. But the only problem with acquiring Green Growth Brands right now is because they have THC assets. They have CBD wholesale partnership with. If you scroll further down, they bought out THC Florida, and then they also bought out a company, the Source Henderson. So, that means that Green Growth Brands cannot be acquired by Aurora right now, not until the United States become fairly legal. That's how I see things. Green Growth Brand closes a $50.2 million bought deal financing. So they raised a bunch of money at a price of, according to this, a price of $2.45 Canadian, and the stock price right now is 87 cents. So, that's right there saying that, Green Growth Brand's on sale, because these guys raised a bunch of money. These guys raised a bunch of money at $2.45, and the stock is worth 87 cents. One day, not 100%. Green Growth Brand could go back to $2.45. That would be almost a 300% return on investment. It's a gamble at the end of the day. I don't know. I honestly believe the lower it goes, the more the opportunity becomes. I do think Green Growth Brand, is an attractive asset, because they have access to a huge distribution channel. So, and Aurora wants to acquire them. They've been in talks. At least that's the rumor right now. That's not 100%. And but the one biggest problem I have with Green Growth Brands is their revenue is good, but their cost of goods sold is higher than what their revenue is. So in theory, they are not making any money. They are losing a ton of money, and the general and administration is a lot, like $20 million. So they are losing a ton of money. I believe this was for the entire year they lost $62 million from operations, but they're in growing mode, so that's kind of expected from them. So and since right now they have about $10 million, but you have to remember that they raised an additional 50 million, I believe, US dollars. I think it's 65 million Canadian, 50 million US dollars. So I could be wrong on that, but you just saw that article not too long ago. So that's the biggest problem with me, is the cost of goods sold is higher than the revenue. I mean, that's not good, but that's the reason why I think Aurora wants to acquire them, because Aurora wants to be able to grow their own product and distribute those products across a wide network of distribution channels at a high margin, because they're producing their own product, and the only person they really have to pay off is their partners, which usually retail is about 15%. It could range to 30% depending on the item and the cost. But I'm hearing that, from my research, retails get about 15 to 30% of the gross profits, depending on the product. I know in the MJ space, it's about 35%. It could be 30%, but I believe it's between 30 to 35% for gross margins for the MJ products. At least that's according to my research. So I think that's the I don't know. That's so, but still, 35% gross margin, that would leave 65. That's still a pretty good gross margin. Aurora just needs to bring the cost of goods sold down big, and that's the reason why I think Aurora is planning in the future to acquire Forium Biosciences and really distribute. There's photos. Interesting. There's a big field of hemp. So yeah, Forium looks like a pretty big company. So yeah, that's my thinking of the future. But right now, Aurora stock is under pressure. People are saying it's going bankrupt. I don't think it's going bankrupt. I think I don't know if this is the bottom or it will continue to go down further. But I think this is a temporary bottom. I could be wrong because the RSI level is still 31 and the stock is still telling me it's downtrending. But sometimes stuff can get reversed real quick. And but at the end of the day, it's still downtrending. And this stock is easy because if the scenario, the stock goes back to $3 US, that is $1 billion of money getting pumped into the stock. There has to be a big reason for the stock to go back to $3 in the short term. There has to be some big news, some big catalyst, and at that point I can determine, do I want to go back into Aurora and gamble that the stock price is going back up, or do I want to gamble, so that at that point I would. But right now I think Aurora poses dangerous because it's short term. It can go lower. I don't know, I don't know where the bottom is, but I'm so glad I don't have any shares of Aurora right now, because that gives me the ability to buy back into Aurora in a big way, especially if the stock price goes down even further and further, because I still believe in Aurora as a business. I still, but that's my belief. So we'll see what happens in the future. Aphria, I like Aphria, but I think the CEO overpromise, underdelivers, because I do not think they will be able to sell $1 billion of product in 2020 in the Canadian market. I just simply do not think that. That would be more revenue than all the Canadian companies combined right now. So I think they are way overpromised and underdelivering right now. So that's my opinion. Kronos up a penny, not too much to say about that. Canopy Growth down 6 cents. Apple up, all Blue Sky Breakout 284, RSI 74. I think Apple might have a big sell-off in the new year, because I'm thinking that people might want to take some profit, because taxes are near the end of the year and New Year is the start of a new tax season. So that's my consensus. That's why I think it's going to happen. I think there's going to be a massive sell-off in the new year, and then in February the stock's going to start recovering. But I could totally be wrong on this, and the market may just continue to go up and up and up and up and up, and just never crash. But I think the stock market is overdue for a crash, because we haven't had a correction in such a long time. So the stock was $200 here, and then had a massive correction to 173. And then it just rallied all the way up with a small correction right here, and then 284. That's crazy. I just think that Apple is overvalued and is due for a correction in the short term, but that's my opinion. AMD. I think AMD is in a big giant bubble, but big giant bubbles can get bigger and bigger and bigger, because look at the PE ratio, 243. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to invest in that 243 PE ratio company. This is basically you buying AMD right now is you are a trader. Don't long AMD at $46. Trade AMD at $46 simply because I think AMD is in a big giant bubble, and it could pop and it could crash and have a massive correction in the future. If you can catch that fall with a put option, you would make mad money, in my opinion. So, like, if we just look through its history, you know, this chart doesn't show nice history. So if you look through the history, boom, it's 46.54. So, you know, like, pop, crash, pop, crash, pop. What's gonna happen in the next couple years? Crash. So I think sometime in 2020 or maybe 2021, I think AMD's due for a massive correction. I saw something in here that was kind of interesting. What the? Split. Aurora stock split in 2000. 1983. Oh, I see. This one is a split. 2-half split. Oh, okay, never mind. Something caught my eye and I just wanted to check it out. But I still think AMD's in a big giant bubble, and I think it's due for a correction. I also think Tesla is in a bubble, but I think Tesla can go all the way to $500. Rich people are obviously pushing up Tesla stock right now, and but I think Tesla is due for a small little pullback, simply because it's way overbought right now. If we look at RSI level is at 84. I think the stock is due for a small pullback correction in the near term, and then after that it's going to start going back up again. But I think there's a possibility Tesla could be a $500 stock in 2020, and maybe even higher. We'll see what happens, but congratulations to people who trust in the company. Like, I'm still butthurt from because I was in the stock at here, and then it had a massive correction, and then I bought the stock back in, and then next earnings, I was like thinking that Tesla stock was gonna have a massive correction, but nope, it just skyrocketed. As soon as it skyrocketed, I should just threw all my money back in, because, you know, I knew that I told myself that I think that Tesla was gonna go back to like 350, 340. I should have just done that, and I would have been rewarded big time, because it went all the way to $425. That's still a pretty good return on investment at $300. That's still like, I think, like 40% return on investment if I bought it at $300 US. Walt Disney, I think Walt Disney is a camping game right now. I don't think that the stock's going to move too much until earnings time. I think earnings time, when they announce the Disney Plus subscriber base, I think the stock's going to have another massive rally to maybe 155 or higher. I don't know at the end of the day what's going to happen, but that's my theory behind it. Chap Energy, total uptrend right now. 135. MACD is looking healthy. RSI level is bullish, and it's still not overbought yet. Once it hits around 80, that will be overbought. I think the stock is due for a massive rally. I think that CHAP could hit $2 in the short term here. I may even add a position to CHAP, because I might buy more shares of CHAP, because I think that it's going to head higher. I could be wrong, but I think CHAP is heading higher. It's total uptrending, but I know that the stock is pure manipulation. So yeah, but I still think that it's gonna keep going up, and it's uptrending right now. Harvest Health, a nice day for Harvest Health today, up 13 cents. It went all the way down to 288 in the morning and then popped all the way back up to 314, pulled back, and 312 with a close. Liberal Health Science, trading sideways at 55 cents. Not too much to say about that. Man is having a small correction. It's starting to look attractive to me again. So I'm hoping that it keeps going down, but my gut feeling tells me that Thursday is gonna have a bounce. Could be wrong, but no, that's my gut feeling. So, but I do hope it keeps going down, and I hope to see it back to around 60 cents. If it goes to 50 cents, it's a no-brainer. That's my opinion. True Eve. But again, like, this is not financial advice or anything. This is just my own consensus on MedMen. I like MedMen. I'm going to keep investing in MedMen, especially when it keeps going down. I do have a position in MedMen that I'm going to keep long term. And then I'm going to add to my position. And then if it skyrockets again, I might take some profit. But so that's my plan moving forward. True Eve is trading sideways. Kira Leaf is 723 right now. Green Thumb Industry trading sideways. Bitcoin is not doing too much, just trading sideways. And Hive Blockchain Technology down half a penny today, down 5%. I think if it goes back to like 8 cents, it's an opportunity. Unless Bitcoin goes down, crashes and goes all the way back to around 3,000. If that's the scenario, Hive could go all the way back to 4 or 5 cents. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this content. Give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow. Subscribe for future updates, and have a great day. Bye.